Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Lily Augustin and I'm so excited that you're here. So today I thought this YouTube video would be extra special if I actually took you through my morning personal yoga practice. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you through what I do in the morning, how I wake up, what my yoga practice looks like right now. Now, my personal practice changes, one, depending on where I am in my cycle, and two, depending on where my intuition is calling me and what my intuition is calling me to do. So right now, I'm in my inner fall of my cycle, which is day 32. I'm on day 32 of my cycle as I'm recording this. So my morning practice doesn't really look like intense asana poses. Actually, my morning practice looks like doing some mantra and reading some spiritual scriptures and some spiritual texts. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. So I invite you to follow along, come join me, come do the practices with me, pause the video as you go, do the practice as we go. And I can't wait to take you through my morning. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you when I wake up. Mornings are pretty slow for me. I don't force myself to wake up fast. I don't look at my phone first thing in the morning. But I allow myself to sit in bed and think of all the things that I'm grateful for. This is one of my favorite morning practices, and one that I'm doing today, and one that I invite you to do too. As you wake up, just laying in bed, think of all the things that you're grateful for in your life. I'll share some of mine here on the screen. After waking up, I decided to get ready with a mantra today. So as you notice my lips moving, I was singing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which when translated means may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. I love singing mantras during my morning practice and my morning routine, and I'm going to drop in the comments my favorite song and variation of this mantra so that you can bring it into your morning practice too. Getting ready, feeling uplifted from that mantra and reminded of how connected I and my actions are to the world around me, I sat down to eat, and I love eating my breakfast out on my little tiny mini porch here. It has been raining the night before, so I just sat on the inside instead of going through the outside, but eating while listening to the birds, watching my indoor cat interact with the world outside. She loves it. She's so awe-filled with the birds outside as they're chirping. It's so beautiful to watch her engage with the outside world in the small capacity that she's able to here in the city. And as I'm eating, it becomes a practice of full presence with my breakfast, full presence with the world around me, full presence with all of my senses, and I'm able to seep fully down into grounding in a small practice just like eating breakfast, which I decided to follow with reading some spiritual texts. And yeah, reading spiritual sacred texts is totally yoga and can be a really beautiful way to drop down into a personal practice in those mornings when moving might not necessarily feel completely right on your body. Okay, so today we are reading The Yoga of Jesus by Paramahansa Yogananda. This book has been so amazing. I'm about halfway through and I'm going to read one of the sections to us here in our morning practice. So I usually, especially when I'm doing a morning practice that involves reading a spiritual text or a spiritual scripture, I usually run through one whole book at a time and just read a little piece of it every time I do my morning practice. So today, let's read a little piece of this. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. The consummate religious experience is direct perception of God, for which the purification of the heart is requisite. On this, all scriptures agree. The Bhagavad Gita, India's immortal scripture of yoga, The Science of Religion and God Union, speaks of the blessedness and divine perception of one who has attained this inner purification. The yogi who has completely calmed the mind and controlled the passions and freed them from all impurities, and who is one with spirit, verily he has attained supreme blessedness. My cat's going wild outside. I don't know if you see her trying to climb the fence at the moment. With the soul united to spirit by yoga, with a vision of equality for all things, the yogi beholds his self, spirit united, in all creatures and all creatures in the spirit. He who perceives me everywhere and beholds everything in me never loses sight of me, nor do I ever lose sight of him. So that was from the Bhagavad Gita. Since ancient times, the rishis of India have scrutinized the very core of truth and detailed its practical relevance to man. Patanjali, the renowned sage of the yoga science, begins his Yoga Sutras by declaring Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. I might have butchered that. Yoga, scientific union with God, is the neutralization of the modifications of chitta, the inner heart or power of feeling, a comprehensive term for the aggregate of mind stuff that produces intelligent consciousness. Both reason and feeling are derived from this inner faculty of intelligent consciousness. My revered guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, one of the first in modern times to reveal the unity of Christ's teachings with India's Sanatana Dharma, wrote profoundly about how man's spiritual evolution consists of the purification of the heart. From the state in which consciousness is completely deluded by Maya, the dark heart, or delusion, man progresses through the successive states of the propelled heart, the steady heart, the devoted heart, ultimately attains the clean heart, in which Sri Yukteswarji writes, he becomes able to comprehend the spiritual light, Brahma, or spirit, the real substance in the universe. God is perceived with the sight of the soul. Every soul in its native state is omniscient, beholding God or truth directly through intuition. Pure reason and pure feeling are both intuitive, but when reason is circumscribed by the intellectuality of the sense-bound mind, and feeling devolves into egoistic emotion, these instrumentalities of the soul produce distorted perceptions. Restoration of the lost clarity of divine sight is the purport of this beatitude, which was, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Matthew 5:8. The blessedness known to the perfectly pure of heart is none other than that referred to in St. John's Gospel. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God. To every devotee who receives and reflects the omnipresent light divine, or Christ consciousness, through a purified transparency of heart and mind, God gives power to reclaim the bliss of divine sonhood, even as did Jesus. Transparency to truth is cultivated by freeing the consciousness, the heart's feeling, and the mind's reason from the dualistic influences of attraction and aversion. Reality cannot be accurately reflected in a consciousness ruffled by likes and dislikes, with their restless passions and desires, and the roiling emotions they engender, anger, jealousy, greed, moody sensitivity. But when chitta, human knowing and feeling, is calmed by meditation, the ordinarily agitated ego gives way to the blessed calmness of soul perception. Purity of the intellect gives one the power of correct reasoning, but purity of the heart gives one the contact of God. Intellectuality is a quality of the power of reason, and wisdom is the liberating quality of the soul. when reason is purified by calm discrimination in metamorphosis into wisdom. When reason is purified by calm discrimination, it metamorphoses into wisdom. Pure wisdom and the divine understanding of a pure heart are the two sides of the same faculty. Indeed, the purity of heart or feeling referred to by Jesus depends on the guidance of all action by discriminative wisdom, or it could be discerning wisdom. The adjusting of human attitudes and behavior by the sacred soul qualities of love, mercy, service, self-control, self-discipline, conscience, and intuition. The pure-eyed vision of wisdom must be combined with the untainted feeling of the heart. Wisdom reveals the righteous path, and the cleansed heart desires and loves to follow that path. All wisdom-revealed soul qualities must be followed wholeheartedly, not merely intellectually or theoretically. Ordinary man's occluded vision cognizes the gross shells of matter, but is blind to the all-pervading spirit. By the perfect blending of pure discrimination and pure feeling, the penetrating eye of all-revealing intuition is opened, and the devotee gains the true perception of God as present in one's soul and omnipresent in all beings. The divine indweller, whose nature is a harmonic blend of infinite wisdom and infinite love, which is always inside you. Oh, I like this book a lot. I love this book. Okay, so that's my morning practice. That's all I'm going to do this morning before jumping into work, is being mindful and very present in my morning while I was eating, doing some mantra while I was getting my hair done, and reading some spiritual texts or spiritual scriptures that I'm now going to bring into my day-to-day life. I hope you guys have a beautiful morning, and I'll see you next time.